What's up, front seaters? Sean Provencher here, and I've got Dylan Provencher, the leader of the Path Real Estate team. You shared with me just a brilliant way of taking salespeople from a problem to knowing where the solution to their immediate pipeline problems were. And I'm just hoping that you might share this with the people in our group, because I think that what you had to say was awesome.
I gotta be honest, the thing that I actually hate about what I'm about to say is how brutally simple it is. As agents, we're always looking for silver bullets, things that'll fix all our problems, free ways to get business that are just super simple.
Yeah.
And we're always actually, by doing all this stuff, really overcomplicating what it actually is that we're out here doing. In my opinion, there are literally 3 needles that you can move in the real estate industry. There's prospecting minutes, just the amount of blunt force trauma you're willing to put on generally just yourself, of how much work you want to do prospecting for new business. So this can be cold calling, online lead generation. I don't
Talking to
like
people.
that one.
You're
Just
talking to people.
Actively talking to people in a non-passive fashion.
Yeah.
So that's just the work of the business. That's the needle you can move, number 1. The second one's follow-up. And this one's actually a little bit more black and white. In my opinion, you either are performing good follow-up or you're not performing good follow-up. So that one's a bit more of an on-off switch. So you need those 2, period. But then the only other 2 markers, one you can control and one you can't control. You can do all of the prospecting in the world that you want and all of the follow-up you want in the world. And I've seen people do this, but if you don't have the skill needle cranked to 10, and this will be done through scripting, role-playing, taking courses, being education-based, just making sure that you're sharp on your game, then it will not amount to money. All 3 of these dials need to be turned up. And the thing that bugs me about this whole concept is I want there to be more dials. I wish that we could talk about there being a whole bunch of other needles that we're trying to move and it being a more complicated machine. But boiled down, it literally is just this. If you're in real estate sales, it literally is prospecting, follow-up, skills, and then the last dial that you have no control over except by controlling these 3 dials is your income. Because if those 3 dials are all cranked up, you will make a tremendous amount of money. But the problem is that if any one of those dials is not up at 11, the income's just not going to show up.
Okay, so role play this with me. I'm an agent on your team, and you're coaching me.
Sure.
And I'm behind goal.
Okay,
so
here we go. I'll do it with you right now. So
okay.
Sean, let me ask you, have you been hitting your dialing minutes?
Yeah, I am.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah, I've been busting my back, man.
Okay, so let me ask you, on the team, where would you rate yourself, like against all the other agents on the team? And of course, we're all part of a team, but I just want to know where you think you stand. Where do you stand as far as dialing minutes? Are you in 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 5th, 10th?
I think there are probably a couple people who do slightly more than me, but like I'm right up there, Dylan. I'm like, probably
a medalist?
Yeah, I would be a medalist. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Great. So we don't need to worry about that then. Your minutes are all good. So let me ask you, how's your follow-up? Are you staying consistently on your follow-up? And it's a bit of a trick question because I already know the answer because I see your follow-up calls and whether you're doing them or not. So
I could be a little better. I try really hard. This excuse about my kids, and I had a cold last week. So
yeah. But all in all, you're within a couple days on your follow-up calls.
I'm within a couple days on my follow-up calls.
Rate yourself inside the team. Where do you think you land?
I'm not a medalist in this category. I think that I'd probably be like in the top 10 percentile.
Okay, perfect.
It's a big team, so.
Yep, okay. So as you know, there's really only 3 dials, right? There is the prospecting minutes, there's the follow-up, and do you know what the third one is?
I don't know. What is it?
It's skills. So basically, that would be scripting and role-playing. Where do you think you'd rate yourself on the team with that? 10 agents, would you be 1st, 2nd, 10th? Where would you be?
For skills, I think I'm a lot lower. I'm definitely not a medalist. I'm definitely not 10%. Because otherwise, I think I'd be making more money. So,
well, there's only 3 dials that we can possibly move. So what I'd like for you to do is I want you to, because there's a one-on-one, and as you know, we're about to go through your 411. I'd like you to write down on your 411 a plan that you think you can put forward to get that skill dial cranked up, and I'm going to review it for you and approve if I think it's enough.
Well, okay. I mean, maybe I could go to like a course at the market center.
Yep. I've noticed that your attendance has been sort of spotty on the scripting calls as well and the lunch and learns. Do you think there's any opportunity there for you?
Yeah, I do. I mean, yeah, if I was better scripted, I'd probably have better results. Well, I just watched this video where you guys gave me all these great reasons to do that.
So the fact is that what do you think a reasonable goal for you for next week? As you know, we do the lunch and learns 3 times a week, and we do the scripting calls 3 times a week. What do you think the best way for you to, what tangible goal can we put in place for you to get better?
I'm going to be on 2 scripting calls, and I'm going to attend all the lunch and learns.
Sounds good. Let me ask you another question. Who on the team do you wish you were more like skills-wise?
I mean, the top agent is my hero. I can't believe how much every time I talk to the guy, he's got another 2 listings and another 3 buy deals in the pipe.
I think he's going to crack $500,000 this year. It's incredible. So let me ask you, do you think that he's a giving, kind guy who would want to help you if you asked him?
Absolutely.
Do you think that it might make sense for you to also put on your 411 to reach out to him and maybe just take 15 minutes of his time and pick his brain?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, do you think that there's anything on this 411 that there's something that might stand in the way of you accomplishing it?
I'm going to have to figure out dropping the kids off at school, because that's always a challenge, because the scripting call's at 8:30 in the morning.
So do you think you might be able to bump that up so that you're able to be on the call maximum 5 minutes late?
I can do that.
Okay. All right, so let me ask you another question. We're confident that everything on the 411 is going to go well and that your plan is solid. Other than holding you accountable to the goals on this 411, is there anything I can do to help you as well?
No, I think this is going to work.
All right, awesome. That's the way it goes.
So simple. You got to move one of these dials.
There's only 3. That's it. That's it.
It's basically the amount of times that you ask for business multiplied by your skill at making sure that after they say that they consider you, you don't let them fall through the cracks.
Yeah.
Multiplied by their skill.
And the fact is that if you think about it, the easy thing, if you're a team leader and you're trying to help someone understand this, the easy question is pretty point blank. I'm not telling you have to increase your skills. If you don't want to be on the scripting calls, that's no problem. But what's your other plan? Is it to double your prospecting minutes? Because I don't know how you're going to do 20 hours cold calling and everything else you need to accomplish.
I can't do that, Dylan.
I totally understand. So what is your plan? Because a lot of the time the resistance you'll get will be, I don't want to be on the scripting calls. No problem. I don't mind. I'm not trying to tell you how to live your life. What's your solution then? Here at the 411 one-on-one, my only goal for you is to figure out how I'm going to make sure that you're successful. That's my job that you basically hired me for as your partner. So if you have another plan that makes sense to move these dials, I'm down to hear it. The problem is, I'm pretty smart. I've been doing this a long time, and I can't think of another plan. So present me your plan, and I'm happy to consider it. So far, everyone's seen the light.
The cool thing is that the easiest dial to move in terms of time investment is skills.
Yeah, it's so easy.
We spend so much time calling people and following up with people. It's exhausting. But if you move your skill dial, one of the things we started tracking on our team was hours of prospecting per signable listing appointment attended. I know it's a mouthful, but man, we had some ahas when we saw one person was spending, 6 hours to go to a signable listing appointment, and another one was spending 20 plus.
Yeah.
And then you think about spending 30 minutes a day scripting, all of a sudden that doesn't seem like the worst punishment in the world.
The other fact is too, is that the guys on my team, the guy who I talked about who's going to crack 500 grand, he's on the scripting calls every day and he gets an aha daily. And so do I. So if you've got people who are capable of making between 500 and 1.4 million who are still getting ahas every single day, what makes you think that you're in good shape? And I'll say one last thing before we get off. Our minimum standard on the team is 10 hours of prospecting. That's actually an immovable goal. Even the guy who makes 500 grand is doing that. So the only difference between the guy who's making 500 grand and the guy who's making much, much less than that is what? It's skill.
Yeah, because we've already built the follow-up machine. That's cooked in. You don't need to worry about that.
You can't escape it. If I'm alive, that's going down.
I hope this helps, guys. Start thinking about ways to improve your skill, because ultimately it's just going to mean that you make more money or have a better quality of life and enjoy the same income.
Yeah.
Can't hurt.
Spoiler alert, it's scripting. Have a great day, guys.
Hop on our calls. Talk to you soon.